What do you think of the automotive old stars?
Well, you know, we quite often speak on conferences where people between 40 and 70 something years are attending, and this is quite different. I think it's great that you are creating a forum for young professionals, because they sometimes lack such a forum where they hear within just one day some sought after speakers and they can build their network. And this is something we would always recommend to young professionals: build your network within the firm, within the industry, and increasingly beyond the industry. And that's possible here, and that's great.
And what do young professionals have to do and to know in order to become successful manager in the automotive industry?
First of all, I would always say focus on your own individual strengths, which means that you need to know them, which is not trivial, by the way. Most people don't know their own strengths. So get to know them and do as much as you can, focus on them. Allocate your time on further strengthening your strength. That's the first point. A second point would be a focus. Don't try to do a lot of things at the same time, but build your own agenda, which is a time frame of a year or so where you build 2 or 3 focus items and then work on them. So focus is the a second point. Be curious is the third one. And I would say as a fourth one, being the co-author of No Bullshit, avoid bullshit in your speeches, in your conversations, in your presentations. Use more a down-to-earth wording, and don't take every new management approach that comes along every second month too serious.
And what is the most annoying sentence you hear from managers?
Well, I could give you 78 examples. I choose one. When the management board has created a new change program, let's take as an example a new organizational structure. Then they go out, have a great audience, and then they say, okay, we have designed it. Now we just have to do one more thing, which is we need to get you into the boat. And that's really bullshit. That shows an attitude of arrogance, because they think, well, we have designed it because we know everything, and now we tell the others what to do and to get them into the boat. The no bullshit answer to that would be to make them co-authors, to a certain extent, of a major change program, to seriously involve them.
And how do you perceive the future of mobility?
Well, I think it is one of the most exciting industries at all. Definitely it's much more than talking about cars and how the future car would look like. And you see this also if you run through the speakers list of today. So it is a topic that goes across today's traditional industries.
What do you think of the automotive old stars?
Well, what I like most is the title. It's not about automobiles, it's about mobility. And that's really the question of the future. And it's good to see that not only automotive sector is presented here, but also a lot of other solutions for mobility in the future.
And what do young professionals have to do and to know in order to become a successful manager in the automotive industry?
Well, I think that's not only about the automotive industry. I think the most important thing I would say is be courageous. Be courageous, question what you see within companies, answer yourself and your bosses if that makes really sense what we are doing or how we are working. And, you know, they have the most important strength, the power of negotiation, because they are few and we need a lot of them. So be courageous.
And what is the most annoying sentence you hear from the managers?
Well, there are 1,000 ones, but I choose only one, which is if a manager is talking about that human resources is our most important capital. And as you might know, resources will be depreciated in the balance sheets, by the way. And somehow that shows a certain attitude. And this is really a bullshit sense. And I would say, in comparison, let's talk about the people, not about the resources. Let's talk about people, and that they are the creative source and the driver for change.
Okay. And how do you perceive the future of the mobility?
Well, I think there are a lot of solutions in the air here in the Automotive All-Stars conference. And I definitely think that's not the private car and the owner of a private car. It's really a network-based solution. That's definitely the future. And we have to change our minds. It's not about owning something. It's about having access to a mobility solution.
Thank you.